I'm going to calculate probabilities using the standard normal distribution. For this, go to stapplet.com, normal distributions, enter a mean of 0 and a standard deviation of 1. This curve is standardized, meaning there's no context or units, and the axis would be called a z-axis, and it just measures the number of standard deviations to the right or to the left and associates that to a probability when it's shaded. This is really difficult to do without some kind of technology or printed off tables. Stapplet is going to be the best way to do it. So let's just look at some problems with notation. For example, let's say we want to find the probability of selecting a z-score that is to the right of 1.05. You could also say what proportion, what percent of the curve is to the right of 1.05. There's definitely different ways you could word that. I think this is going to be the universal way to write it without having to write out too much. And to do that, I would just want to change it to a right side to the right of a value, 1.05. Calculate. And you can show the labels, but these are more useful when you have an x-axis as opposed to a z-axis. But that's 0.1467 or 14.67%. Okay, we can also find the probability of selecting a z, for example, to the left of a value. Let's go to a negative 2.57 on this one. To the left, 2.57. Just keeping the mean and standard deviation the same, and that was negative. So that's 0.0051. Or 0.51%. And lastly, what we can find is a probability of being between two values. So let's say, for example, we're to the right of 0, but we're not quite out to 3. So I'm going to find the probability of being from 0 to 3 standard deviations to the right of the mean by going between two values from 0 to 3. And I can see that shaded is 0.4987.